Hey guys, today I'm going to talk to you about a row variation called the Pendlay Row. I'm going to show you how to set them up using a barbell, which is the standard way and the way that these rows were developed. And then I'm going to show you a way to do them at home with resistance bands that is less impact. So if you're worried about your joints and you still want to do this exercise, the banded way will be excellent for you. So let's get right into this. The Pendlay Row is a version of a bent over row, but in this case we're going to be bent over a lot more, where our spine is almost going to be kind of at this 90 degree or parallel to the floor below us. It's almost like an RDL or a Romanian deadlift position. So you're going to bend over, address the bar, bend over, sticking your butt out and keeping that back nice and flat. I don't want you to get hunchback and I don't want you to get hyperextended back. It has to be nice and flat here, and then you should start to feel a really good stretch in those glutes and hamstrings. That's how you know you're low enough. And then when you address the bar, you want this bar to be basically directly below your sternum and your chest. And then when you address it, basically you'll get into that row position, and then you drop your arms down, and your grip, the width of your grip will be dictated by the position that you're in. So everyone's going to have a little bit different grip width. For me, when I get into this exercise, I feel basically like right at the shoulder width position is good for me. And I know that because my back is nice and flat, I'm feeling a good stretch in my glutes and hams, and I'm still at this parallel, my spine is parallel to the floor. So then to do this exercise, it's going to be a very explosive exercise. So it's designed for power movements, and it's also going to target the upper back. So when we do this, get into our position, grab the bar, and then we're going to row it up, basically pulling those scapulas back to get the exercise going, and then pulling our elbows and fighting to get them behind our spine. So it's very forceful. And then on the negative, this exercise is designed to basically have almost zero eccentric. So you're basically going to lift it up, squeeze it, and then let it down, and the bar will drop and hit the floor. And with our elbows, we don't want them to be tucked in. So like with a standard bent over row, we're not fully bent over, we're kind of here, and we're pulling it in, keeping our elbows a little bit tighter and rowing it into our midsection. That's going to target more of the lats. But with this Pendlay row, we're going to be pulling it directly up into our chest. So that's going to work more of the upper back, like we're going to target some rhomboids, we're going to get the lower traps and a little bit of rear delt action as well, and it won't focus as heavily on the lats. And also this is a explosive power exercise, so it's great for developing like explosiveness and power out of the hole here. So like if you're working on deadlifts or trying to improve Olympic lifts, the Pendlay row is great for that as well. So one more thing that I want to address here is with this position for the Pendlay row, since we're so bent over and we're in this almost an RDL position for the most part, you're going to have a lot more stress on your lower back. So you're going to have to engage those core muscles a lot more, and also you're not going to be going as heavy as you would with a bent over row. So like a bent over row, that position, it allows you to kind of like cheat it. Once you get heavy, you'll see a lot of people cheating these things and getting heavier. If you overload the Pendlay row, you're gonna notice that the back will start to get hunched, and then you're also gonna start like bobbing with your leg. You're gonna start doing this leg drive thing where you're trying to like fling it up so that you can get the momentum started. Like you do not want to be doing that, because that will cause more harm than good. You wanna be in that fixed position, that 90 degree RDL position, and you should be able to fully contract those scapulas to get it off the ground and then drive it into your sternum. If you can't do that without using your legs, then you know you have too much weight on the bar. All right, let's walk through a Pendlay row using resistance bands. So that way you can do these at home if you don't have weights. And also the resistance bands are gonna have far less joint impact. So you can still train explosively and build power, but you will have a significantly less risk for damaging your joints, or if you have injuries that you're trying to recover from, like these Pendlay rows with bands are gonna be great for you. So what you're gonna need, I like to use the Clench Fitness foot plate, and I'll show you why in a minute. And then also you're gonna need a single 41-inch band. You might need a few different ones if you're pyramiding up your weight and doing sets. And then I like to use the Clench band handles here, and mostly because it makes it a lot more comfortable, but also I'll show you that you're gonna need to get that length right. So what I wanna do is compare this setup to the barbell to show you that it's a very close replication of it. So what we're gonna do, and for this, we're gonna use the 3 channels, and we're gonna turn this board we're gonna be standing on it across the smaller width, and we're gonna place this band in our top channel here, and then lay it down on the floor, because we don't want that band centered under our feet. We want it to be out in front of us, because we are going to be getting down, and I'm gonna pop my handles in here, one on each side. So now this is going to give us that same angle and the same direction. So we can now position this band is going to be directly under our sternum, just like it was with the barbell. And then when we go down to address this thing, we get into that RDL stance. And now you can see I start to get tension right about at that same height as the barbell resting on the floor with some plates on it. So that way we can start in a good position. I have some tension here at the bottom of the rep. And now we're going to flare our elbows just a little bit, make sure that our back is nice and flat, and now we can just power up into these reps. And you can do these explosively and let them down nice and slow or fast, or you can do these with more hypertrophy and kind of muscle building involved, where you control that tempo. But this is a lot smoother, and what I notice here is that strength curve of the band. So I don't have a lot of resistance here at the bottom, but then at the top, it really kicks in and engages. So this is an excellent alternative, but it's also different enough that you can train with both bands and barbells to get slightly different benefits and slightly different results. All right, one last thing that I want to mention here, because of the tension of the band. Remember before on the barbell I was talking about you do not want to get too heavy on this, otherwise you're going to start compromising your form and using your legs to lift this. Because the band, it might be light at the beginning, it'll feel like, oh, this is easy enough. Make sure that when you're selecting your band that you can get to this full contraction without using your legs. So when this resistance kicks in with the band, it's probably going to happen, about halfway up in this rep, and that's when you're going to start to want to use your back and your legs to lift this. Make sure that you pick your band so that you can finish this top half of the rep without compromising your form. So there you go. There's a couple variations of Pendlay Rows. Let me know in the comments if you prefer barbells or if you prefer the resistance band version. If you want to see more exercise demonstrations or workouts like this, click on those on-screen video links. I guarantee you that you will like them. Also, if you like what you saw today, be sure to smash that like button. It really helps us to grow our channel. Leave a comment down below. That also helps to get more traction. And also, if you need any resistance bands or accessories, please head over to clenchfitness.com, and we will see you next time.